Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Legion Lads. I am your host, JR. Today we got Jose, Dal, and Nick. What's going on, boys?
That was the longest preamble to a podcast I've ever been a part of.
Yo,
Hello
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Good,
Well,
good thing we don't need to edit.
yeah. At least, at least I try not to do the editing thing because that takes too much time, and I'd rather get the podcast as soon as possible out there. But, anyways, boys, we had LVO this last weekend. We had the LVO GT and the LVO IS. I know Dallin, unfortunately, won't able to make it. Hopefully, that changes next year. But I did want to
Hopefully.
give a shout out to Michael Stubbs for winning the LVO IS. Congratulations, my man. I saw your list. Your list looks super fun.
What is
And
it when
oh, I'll
when
read
we
it to you.
get there? Yeah.
No, I can read it to you now.
oh, crabs actually made top four, Dallin.
That's right,
That's
baby.
Well,
crazy, huh?
one crab?
Two
You said
crabs,
they'd be
two
flooding.
crabs, two
Two
crabs,
crabs
two
Two
and
crab
and,
crabs,
and
list or two crabs in the list?
two crabs in the
two crabs
list.
and
Were there aquas?
that was the longest undefeated. If he could have gone undefeated, he was undefeated till the second to last round
Well, see, it
Ooh.
or
wasn't
last
strong
round.
enough. You know what made it though? Staps, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. He was running Clone Commander trained. Oh, the Clone Commander would train for leadership. The Clone Captain
What?
Rex. Yep, with Recon Intel. Bad Batch, Clone Infantry, one of them fives D23 and the squad, and then another Clone Infantry with the Clone Medic Mortar. Clone Infantry with Boil
What?
Mortar. A
What?
Clone Commander
Murders are
Delta
good.
Squad, and then two Clone Commanded HQ uplink with obviously their kitted out stuff. And that just goes to prove, Daniel, if you still listen to these, uh, told you Clone Commanders are still good at that price point. Like, I don't know why people don't run them more often. So yeah,
What?
yeah, 9X.
What? That one LVO?
That did win LVO.
That's what?
It looks like a fun list. I mean, come on, Bad Batch, you can't sleep on Bad Batch.
Bad Batch
Um,
is in
Yeah.
everything now.
yeah, super squads are freaking good in Gar because of how
Yeah.
hard it is to kill them. And then Clone Commandos again. Clone Commandos are still think they're worth their points.
Yeah, with Delta Squad, which is wild,
Yeah,
but I think more Delta Squad's been popping a lot lately, and I think it's
And
because
I was told I was
like
crazy for Delta
I
Squad.
was gonna say
I'm a
it's because
believer.
yeah, it's because I think the infinite courage definitely has the merit.
Delta
I don't
Squad,
think you're
best
wrong.
squad.
And then the independent recover is probably nice
Yeah,
on them too.
yeah,
So I feel like that's a good thing too. But then we
yeah,
also
and like
have
yeah, I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say like Jose had talked about, you play Delta Squad like completely different from your standard clone commandos.
Yeah, but
So
then all of a sudden we had the hold on guys, what's this? What's this? What's going on? Oh, what?
whoa,
Hey,
Hmm.
what is this? What is going on here? Get out of here. Trying
what's
to stay
that?
trying to stay humbled here. Let's go with that.
This guy.
I did win the GT. I chickened out of the IS this year. I wanted the goodies. I got some of the goodies.
Ooh,
But
Did
that's
you
yeah,
sweet.
did you stay for the last round?
Nope.
no, I didn't.
So you missed
You
out on
missed.
some of the
I
goodies then.
know,
Yeah.
I heard, I was so
Yeah,
bummed, but I
yeah.
What
knew,
were they?
They
uh,
gave
More
they gave
dice.
extra dice on the
yeah,
last round. The last
they
round was a
did.
fun
Dude,
round.
it was,
They
I don't
gave
know if
extra
John told
dice.
you, it was hilarious. So Josh walks by and he goes, "Here you go, boys, for having fun." And we're like, "Hell yeah." And then John walks up, he's like, "Hey, did he give you dice?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Just he just said for us having fun." And he goes, "I'm gonna go talk to him." And then 10 minutes later, I look over and guess who's playing the game? John.
Well, you know what? I would have, if I would have known too that we would get more dice, I would have stayed and played.
That
But
was the whole
I
Well,
point.
that was
felt,
the whole that was
That
the whole
was the whole
I
point. They
point.
weren't
know,
going to tell you.
I felt the girlfriend like eyes on me, like we could have left early. I was just like, oh, I can't. I gotta go and enjoy Vegas with the girl. So
I I I, I hear that and feel that on an
thank you.
emotional level.
Thank you, Down. Thank you. I was just like, because she was there. So my final game was streamed. It was supposed to be 6 games, but we only played five
You
because I
ruined
was
it.
still undefeated at the end of five. The other undefeated, he got paired down and ended up losing. So my game is the last game to be streamed. And then so the girl was my girlfriend was there and she was just like her overheard them say like, no, that's it. That's the tournament's done over. So I knew I couldn't convince her otherwise or be like, no, we gotta do one more game, you know? So
Yeah,
I
so we
had to
played
get
one
out of
more
it.
game with dangerous environments as an
Well,
extra thing.
see,
Oh, cool.
CJR, if you would have played your game as masterfully as I did, you would have finished that game under 10 minutes.
Well, we can't all be as good as you, my man. You probably would have destroyed me had we faced each other.
No, nope.
Um, but
Luck.
yeah, did you guys have fun doing that last one? It seemed like it would have been a fun game
That was probably one of the funnest games of Legion ever, but we won't say why.
Because it
I
was fake.
I
Fake Legion.
had
because no
I
pressure.
had I had fun because of the situation that led up to that game, but I'll get
Okay.
into that one
Okay.
later.
All right. All right. Before we get into our experiences, I figured this episode we'll kind of go over our experience with the LVO this year. You know how we had a good time and whatnot, and what you expected, what ended up happening, and then a little bit about your games. Don't go too much into your games.
Yeah,
Just
because we don't
kind of
want to be
give,
here. We don't want to be here for 3 hours.
yeah, do the synopsis of all of them.
Quick synopsis.
Yeah. But I did want to give a shout out again to the LVOIS because I feel like that was a tournament that really mattered. You got some of the best players playing in that.
Hey,
Uh,
wait a minute. What term really matter? The other one mattered too.
you're right. You're right. Hold on a minute. It did matter. It mattered a lot. um, but yes, no, that one is definitely played at a more competitive level and a lot more hard hitting. I did miss it. I am hoping that this year we get a GT in California so I can go to the IS at the end of October next year. So fingers
Yes,
crossed for
please.
that. Because yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to get the goodies. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know about you boys, but in the top 8 for the IS, we have 4 CIS,
Yep.
That makes
one
sense.
one Empire, 2
Oh,
Republic, and 1 Rebel.
hmm
no
Does
Shadow
this
Collective?
no Shadow Collective did get in the top 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were
The,
4 players though,
four,
which actually
yeah.
was like higher than normal. That's a
Hmm.
lot of Shadow Collective players compared to what you usually see in a tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Now this tournament, I would say the IS and this GT for LVO was a little bit smaller on attendance. I think that's a reflection of we already had one this year,
Mhm.
and people don't got the money to come again, or people don't have the time to come again. I feel like next year we'll have a bigger attendance. So that's yeah. Just wanted
And
to
you
point that out to everybody.
and you saw that all around too. There was less like MCP, less. I think there was less Shatterpoint. Probably the only thing that was not less. I think it seemed like there's just as many Warhammer players there as normal.
Yeah.
So I think they
Oof.
came out. They came out for 2 LVOs in full force. It seemed like.
Well,
You want to
here's
know
the thing.
why?
If you can
I think
afford
because go ahead, Jose.
if you can afford Warhammer at those prices, you can afford to go to multiple LVOs.
Well,
Yeah.
that and Warhammer's prize is actual money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
just for one person though. Mostly, but
well,
yeah.
that's still enough probably to get you to go to at least try to win that. And if there's 2 of them in a year, maybe they were thinking the same thing. There's a lower attendance, bigger chance of winning it. You
I
know?
think it's just because it's Warhammer.
Ah, makes
Yeah,
sense. Makes
Warhammer's
sense.
huge.
But yeah, it looks like CIS still coming out strong. It looks like every list pretty much has Aquas. So
Okay. I was about to ask.
yeah, AMG buff them. They're hurting real bad.
No,
That
um,
Nerf hammer's coming hard.
yeah, yeah,
probably.
but
I think they just need to nerf the heavy. I think the base cost is fine. It's just the heavy is what's making them obnoxious.
you're probably right. Honestly,
Yeah.
this because that's what you do, right? You just take the aquas with the heavy, and then it's 95 points, and you just to shoot all this dice, make them expensive. Then you're only shooting 6 dice. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so really fast before you guys get into your game, I just wanted to go on a tangent as to why I wanted to jump on the cast today. So in the previous cast, Jose was talking mad crap about my boy Kraken, and I was like, "Dang!" Especially because I've been like fooling around with him lately, um, just in preparation for the custom commanders, and I was like, "You know what?
To
Frick
build
that
something
guy."
better?
Yeah, no. So what had happened was I was like, yeah, well, Kraken's so cheap, and like I had him priced in my list at 91 because I took a couple of upgrades on him, and I was like, I bet I can't even make a custom operative that does as much as Kraken did. And then I did it, and then it was way more than what Kraken did. And now I'm like, well, all right, now I feel pretty silly. So,
Yeah. Immune
so
melee goes a long way, buddy.
it definitely does. And then on top of that, you're rolling 6 dice, so your damage threshold is higher,
Mhm.
and it's
Suppression bomb.
yeah, you can do so much more for the
Yes.
same price. So
I wouldn't say the same price. It is cost, I wouldn't say expensive, but
similar,
it is,
similar
yeah, more
price.
expensive than
It's
Kalani and
worth
Kraken.
more though. It's worth more than like that build a Kraken
Sure.
is still worth it gets more worth
That's
out
what
of
I'm
it
getting
Yeah.
than Kraken at his value.
You're not
That's why he's
wrong,
becoming an
but you could
insert.
run Kalani, Kraken, and two STDs. Like,
Or you
yeah.
could run Kalani, two build a Krakens, and then put Kraken in your B1s.
Oh, yep. There you go. That's the smart
I
thinking
want
right
to throw
there.
him in B2s. I hope he's a melee
Oh, B2. B2 would be
unit. That
nice.
gives you charge. He's just fives for droids.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Uh,
will be.
Anyways, that was my thought. I just wanted to share
See,
that like
I keep winning, JR. It just doesn't stop. Middle of the week, I'm still
well,
winning.
well, let's go over what you won. Okay. Number one, you brought the droids when Nick said you won it on a previous
Hmm.
cast.
Mm.
So you win the bet against him. What do you win, Jose?
I get to make his army for the next event.
Hmm. He
Yeah.
he did win the bet, but
I lost the war.
he lost the war
Yeah.
I
because
don't
which is what
know.
because
Nick
wait
had
wait wait
called.
wait
Nick
no
had
wait no
called it.
this next part again. So say it Jose, say it, say it.
So,
I want to hear the words. I want to hear the words that Nick was right.
I took the list.
Hey, yeah. You got to say it because you made
Gotta
me
say it.
say it earlier at LVO, and we'll get to that soon.
I took the list and Nick was right. It's not a Jose list. I had absolutely no fun running that. Looking at other players running cool heroes and then looking at my trash cans like I was jealous. And it
See,
was
man, you
not
you're giving me such
it
conflicting
was not
reports.
it was not no, because like I said, you weren't there for it. Like everybody, I was having these conversations with everybody, even Nick over some nice cold waters. We were having these discussions.
Only
Um,
water that weekend.
only water that weekend. We were totally only drinking water that weekend. Um, yeah, and it wasn't fun for none of my opponents.
Oh,
I
are
was
you
getting
factoring fun for opponents? Oh, don't do that. That's a bad
no,
mistake.
yeah, because
Well,
it's a fun league.
yeah, it
You
matters.
went in there, and ruined it for us, and then I was in there being little JR ruining it for the like you were ruining it for the people who were in the top part, and I was ruining it for the people at the bottom. So they no matter if they went up or low, they felt they went up against something they would classify as a bullshit. As some
They lose to
comments.
JR and then they have to go play you,
And
and
then
they're
JR
like,
from Timu.
ah.
Yeah, no, it was the comments are rough. Like I've gone from talking about bringing the non meta non like I bring fun stuff. Jose brings fun stuff. And after every game I've ever had of Legion, it's been like, "Oh my God, that was crazy, blah blah blah." And it was just the comments hurt my soul, man.
The
Comments
comments are just.
the comments hurt my soul
They hurt your
so
You know
so
what?
feelings.
You know
much.
what comment hurt my soul when I won my trophy and everything, and someone's just like, "He should have been the IS." I look.
Well, I don't know who did that. But no, it
Hey,
was rough.
now
Nick
you know
was
how I
right.
feel when I bring this list and you're just like, man, blah 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 blah. I'm just like, damn, Jose wasn't that bad.
No, it was bad. Like my one of my opponent's comments was his buddy came over, I 6-0'd him, and then his buddy was like, "Oh, what happened?" And he's like, I shot this group of 14 B1s 5 times, and I asked him how many models were left. He said 10. And then he goes, what, for real? And he looks, he goes, yeah, dude. He's like, it was like eating a really cheap steak that's like 90% gristle. And then when you get to the
Oh,
meat, he's like, it's still shit. And you're
oh.
forced to just eat it because you've already paid for it. And I'm like, I'm standing right here, dude. Like, it
I
was
I'm just
comments
I'm just
were so
baffled about
colorful.
how this was your best record win going to LVO in. You won most games playing this list, and you hated it so much you decided to plaster it in your background.
No, so I plaster my
Hey man,
background
he's
because
suffering from
that's a
success.
no. See,
Okay.
this is the reason it's on the background, people, is because I want you to see. So there's none of my opponent. So if you could see like right there, up, well, I can't. Up there is a black sun hiding. He just had three of his boys blown away. They're sitting on three poison tokens. That AA5 is on one wound. That these guys right over there are Black Sun with another three poison tokens. And then back there, you can't see it, but Maul's hiding because that bus is gonna get blown up next round by that. And then it's just the floodgates open.
So
Uh
when you
that
tell
picture
me that
is
you didn't have no fun playing this list and everything, when we had a conversation when you were just like, dude, I'm having fun. It clicked for me. Like it just all of a sudden just clicked for me, and I just started knowing what I needed to do. Like I wish I had a chess clock because then I could have put them on the time.
no. So don't
Okay,
misconstrue that.
okay, okay,
I
okay.
wish I had a chess clock
Mm.
because I was sitting there waiting for my opponents to get their judge calls situated that I graciously told them the right calls. But they needed confirmation, so
That
we're
was
waiting
a
on
humble
that.
brag.
We're waiting on that. And no, it was just like this like I've never played a list that plays itself.
Yeah,
Um
that's what
like for
CIS
instance,
does.
here's the card. The sequencing was a bad part. I was trying to figure out. So first round ends up being standing orders. It's the tank direct one tack to seven B1s. The final B1 goes back to the tack. Second tack does AI whatever for the last B1, who then gives it back to the tack. It's basically turned out to be um, feed two big squads left, two big squads right. Set my tack one, and then see where they go with their strong units by that point, and then shift over to the other side. Turn one then plays out as I'm out of range. They can't do anything, and the things they do get in, the times that they shouldn't have took a shot, they took a shot, which meant that was when I'm moving twice, they're moving once and shooting. So scoring round, I'm just planting myself. Then it goes into back-to-back one pips where all the deletion happens. And then if I got to a four, it was then into the speed one move where I get into melee or bubble wrap a POI. And the list just played itself. And it's weird because I'm watching my opponents like wheels turn and nobody like and it was crazy because a lot of the lists I was able to pick out their threats. So for instance, this picture right here, Maul's not going to get engaged because Maul doesn't have force push, and he brought the dark saber. Five dice, black dice are not doing nothing for you into the blob. Um, the threat on this list right here was the Black Suns, which I basically neutered them to where they're gonna get one good shot and that's it. And even then, it's a half body shot right into their death. I was very good about picking out targets. Like a couple other games, oh, it's a flamethrower, cool, deleted. And once those threats that deal with my list are gone, now my opponents sit there and they're like just banging their head into a brick wall, and it's like at this point, like in the games, I the question I'm asking when they're shooting me is how many can you see? And they're like, "Well, do you want to know your cover?" Like, "No, I don't care about my cover. I don't. What? How many can you see? How many
What
can you
cover?
see more relevant to me than your cover?" In terms of one of the games I pointed out earlier, how many can you see? Ended up being I shot five times with clone squads with aims, bunch of dice, and that B1 unit had five suppression, and so I had 10 models. And then I get to Indomitable, roll one off for cover. Cool, I'm set. Move me off to POI. It was just the clicking part was nice. That was fun, but it's just the games were slogs, man. I had nothing flashy. No, it's just here's
I,
14 dice and here's 10 crits, or here's one crit and one hit. But realistically, I didn't. The 14 dice saturation was just to get me the poison. I didn't care about all the access. Like yeah, like I said, I was playing garbage cans while everybody's having their nice painted heroes.
here's my win. I told you you should have brought a lightsaber and you did it. So
Well,
But Grievous is too
he
expensive.
steamrolled pretty well from what it sounds like. And then, I've never seen Jose practice more with the list than this list right here
Oh, I was
because he
telling. Oh
went to
God, sorry.
different. variations of it, putting in two STDs and or sorry, tax series droids, and then switching from the E5C to poison guns. Like, I'm really proud of you, man. I think you did amazing. I think you did a good job.
Yeah, it was 1 and 6 leading up to this event across Vet Fest, a couple Bakersfield events, 1 and 6, and then coming into this event. Realistically, we played 5 rounds, but I was telling John like if we played the sixth round as an official sixth round, nothing changes how my round 6 game would have went because we played dangerous environments, which you lose your advantages. Looking at my opponent's advantages and how I'll get into that game, how that first round ended up, his advantages wouldn't have saved him at all. So realistically, 3-2, but over 6 games of Star Wars Legion LVO, 4-2 from doing 1 and 6, which is
Yeah,
nine
which
day difference.
yeah. So just to be clear, you didn't have fun playing the list.
Didn't have fun playing the list. It was nice. It was fun realizing when it clicked.
Hmm.
But when it clicked, what I realized is like in my 1 and 6, I had it was fun stories. So I'm figuring out the list, and you know that's fun in itself. Clicking here was fun until I realized it put people in positions where they're just shooting
So
into blobs.
See,
it's
and
not.
that's funny. That's funny because you and I are very like opposite people because I love like that whole like, oh man, this sucks. I hate it. Like I'm like, yes.
Well,
You
there's
love the
no fun story.
chaos.
There's no fun story to this. Like a lot of lists I bring, people are like, "Pfft,
Well,
this
hold
guy
on a
brought
minute.
brought
There's got to be.
this guy brought 2 crabs, a Saj, Dooku. Like, well, get out of here with this. Or this guy brought Delta. Like this guy brings the weird stuff, and there was none. And it's funny because it's like this actually was this works. But then I bring this, and the comments I get was like, "Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, this is bullshit. Oh."
So you
It's
you
like,
didn't like the comments
oh,
that people were giving you for playing this list.
because they weren't having fun.
So you care more about the people having fun
I
for
care
you to have
about I
fun.
care about I care about the takeaway being
Are you at
the
least proud
stories.
of yourself?
Yeah, I am proud of myself. I like I told her it's funny. It's like I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that I went 4-2. I'm just not happy about the way I went about it, which is what
Well,
Nick was pointing out.
which is interesting because like you, ironically, I get the whole you want to have your opponent to have fun, right? Because if you don't, you won't have any more opponents and you don't play the game anymore. But
Sounds familiar.
you tell me about it. You brought this to a tournament where it's designed for you to be as competitive as you can be, so that way you can win the actual tournament. You did lose twice, so there's got to be
To
some stories
Rebels.
there. Well, Rebels
Yeah, one
arguably can now act CIS now.
so one loss was on me because I forgot I had Indomitable. Had I remembered I had Indomitable, I don't get knocked off the POI. And then the second one answers Nick's question is why is Grogu 17 points? My man, Grogu is 17 points because he costed me a game.
Grogu's too expensive.
So, I mean, in this manner, like you did do your due diligence, right? You practiced, you perfected
Yeah.
the list, and then unfortunately your list outperformed really well to make your opponent salty, which that kind of comes with the territory in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Because you weren't trying to see if they're having fun. You were just like, I want to win because I want to win the GT, right?
Yeah, and that was the
But
thing.
winning the tournament sometimes is not fun necessarily.
That's if you
So if
that's
I
more
had to
the player
choose,
though, right?
if I
So
had to
so
choose,
JR, did you
Jared's
have
like
fun?
personal
uh,
experience.
I
I
had a
had fun.
blast.
You had fun, really?
I had a
in the
blast.
Baby
I
Seal
did.
League,
Yeah, I had a blast.
so here's the thing.
We'll go into my games.
Another list that I played religiously up until I decided to hit the brakes and jump onto this atrocity of a list was Dooku Asajj, 6 naked B1s, 2 fully loaded crabs, and 2 Aqua droids. I wish I would have brought that.
That's meta though. That's not.
Yeah, that is meta. That's literally what a lot of people were playing.
I didn't. I saw one Asajj.
I saw three Asajas.
I saw one Dooku,
I saw three Dookus.
and I didn't see really
I
any.
saw three
Well,
Grievouses.
I didn't see Grievous. Oh yeah, I saw one Grievous. Yeah, but that I don't know. I guess that's the list I was cooking up. Like a lot of the other meta lists are like hiding other things behind Aquas. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Conflicted. Maybe I just feel bad that I cheated on my clone boys and did better. Like
you're actually a joy player.
the grass is greener on the other
So
side.
are you gonna bring guard next year?
No, I don't know what I'm bringing this year, but I do know
Oh, you're
Rob
bringing
Rob
Gar. Come on.
Rob,
I'm
Rob
bringing guard.
said Rob said before I put this list in my shelf and never take it out again, he wants another crack at it because he didn't play me when I knew what I was doing, so he
Mm,
wants a rematch.
okay.
Then he said he wants to use the list and play it because I don't know why he would want to do that to himself. I got some other ideas cooking up with B1 double squads, but I want to play the good guys. I think I'm gonna take a break and play some Empire.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
can't talk about people not seeing the things that aren't there if I don't show them it's there.
Fair point. Fair point. All
Like
right.
So
crabs.
I have a question for Nick.
Hmm.
Nick, what inspired you to bring just Rebel meta stuff?
Ooh, Rebel meta
My
stuff.
list was
He didn't bring
Rebel Meta.
Lando.
Yeah, you had Mando, you had two sleepers, you have an
No,
ATRT
wait, one sleeper,
flamethrower.
one sleeper, one.
It okay, maybe I
No, he had
I
misread.
one.
think I think you're looking at the wrong list.
Let me. All right, you'll have to like read off your
I'll
list to me
I'll,
again
I'll go off my
because
list. But JR, were you gonna go next?
Yeah, I can go next.
Sure.
So yeah, so to answer your question, Nick, I understand where you're coming from because yeah, I've been leaning more towards wanting my opponents to have fun, especially in our local community. Uh because I am super competitive, but that shouldn't always be the goal.
JR, I want you to know that I always have fun when we play our games. Like
Thank you. Thank
I know we joke around and I'm like this is stupid and I hate it, but it is a jest.
The
I
you
CIS
do have
you
fun.
and
mirrors are
your
having
wife need to
fun.
move to Fresno. That's what needs to happen.
Well, we're working on
Yeah,
it.
fair point, fair point. Um again, our local scene. I do run some really good lists, and they kind of like Jose's list a little bit. This year, I did bring the Geos again. Instead of Maul, I brought two Aquas, taking the list from 11 to 12 acts, and it was just so much better. I run it to from VetFest 2. And yeah, to your point though, Nick, it did steamroll some of my opponents. My first opponent, Tristan, great guy. He was playing Shadow Collective, literally steamed. I don't want to say steamroll because it sounds like he didn't have any strategy or anything. The Tristan had a really good strategy, but just the sheer amount of dice that I was throwing, and unfortunately the dice weren't showing up for him. He was whiffing on his Mandos and his Black Suns. So it was already decided pretty early, but we were having a lot of banter back and forth and having a blast, just laughing it up and everything. So to in my opinion, the MVP or my favorite opponent was Tristan, because we just laughed and just gave each other jokes back and forth. Um,
I
but yeah,
played
that
Tristan as well.
huh? Yeah,
I played Tristan as well.
you played in the
Hmm.
first? No, no, I played in the
No,
first
fifth game. Oh,
fifth game,
no, for fifth game. Yeah, fifth game.
fifth
Yeah.
game. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. He was a blast. He was a
Yeah,
blast to
he's
play
good.
with. He was
He's fun.
awesome. But yeah, I did kind of run over the Shadow Collective. It's just the stabs and the Aqua combo, saving them for the last, and then just like where do I need to position them to get those early shots? Just kind of snowballs from there. Then my second appointment, Chris, another great guy. We'll get. I do guys want you guys' opinions on the table, but we'll kind of go over that towards the end of the pod. Uh, the table we played with Chris was very much open. There was definitely scattered terrain and terrain to give you heavy, but there was no full like LOS blocking. And he was playing Rebels. He put Han and Ahsoka on a building. Again, Aquas infiltrate, stabs come in. There goes Han. Ahsoka had to retreat, and it just kind of steamrolled from them. And we were talking about it at the end of the game, and he didn't have a whole lot of fun because there was nowhere for him to hide. And I do agree with them. I feel like if there was more LOS, he would have been more of a game because he could have had his rebel come out shoot at the right time. But since he didn't have anywhere to hide, my Geos can just double move and then shoot a range 2, which is effectively a range 4 shot. It just decimated him. Um, I'm not a big fan of open tables, but I think a healthy combination of LOS blocking open tables, and a mixture of both is good for a tournament. And I feel like that's what I saw, but we'll go over that later. My next opponent was Eric. He was also running a Rebels list, and pretty much um, it was go close the pocket. So he was putting all his armies on one side with Han, OP Luke, Mark twos and everything. And again, what I like to do is Geos will come out first with Poggle. They'll just go into position, get ready for the turn two play, and then Aquas and then Staff just infiltrated, killed Han turn one, um, severely wounded, 4 wounds on Luke turn two because he wanted to dive my Geo, so he just put OP Luke in the open, which had heavy cover. But next turn, I was just like, I'm gonna shoot with everything that's mechanical. So if anything you want to dive into, I'm just gonna redraw and just kill Luke. He knew that, so he had to retreat OP Luke, and it was just pretty much over at that end. So that one again, I'm sure Eric didn't have fun with my list, and I kind of felt bad because I was just like, yeah, this is pretty strong. The next game I played was from the rookie, and he had Vader and Dewbacks with flamethrowers. So this is one I was kind of a little bit scared of the flamers, but I knew I had the range to hit the Dews first before they can get on me that I was going to delete them. And my opinion, was a little bit of a mistake. He put Vader on one side of the board. We were playing intercept signals, and I was able to have an Aqua and 3 stabs target him out in the open, which pretty much killed Vader turn two, and then anything that came forward just died to the Geos. My last game, Ben, the General. Now this I think was my favorite game to play because he brought Imperial Remnant, which I think is super strong, 3 darks, um, Gideon with the dark saber, then 3 death troopers, and then a scout trooper, and then just a storm. Whatever you have to take to make Imperial Remnant work. So in this game, it was recover to research. So he went for recover. I flipped over Advanced Heal till the first card. So I thought he was going to ban that, but we kept banning back and forth our main objective. So he really wanted his, and he wanted to recover, because he's playing more of a gun line, so he doesn't want to move anywhere. I was playing. We were playing also marked targets, so I was able to get my advanced intel on a 12 act for his 10, but effectively a 13 because darks get to go twice. Um, this map that we're playing on now, you guys can watch this game. It's going to be on Goldfish and
I watched it.
Nick. Oh, you watched it? Okay, you got to give me some feedback.
I will.
And Nick's first ever stream game is the very first one on the Goldfish. I think it's MTG Goldfish.
Imperial Goldfish.
Imperial
Thank you,
Goldfish.
Imperial Goldfish. I'm gonna have the link in the description for you guys to watch those games. But yeah, pretty much in this game, there was a lot of heavy LOS. This is a very heavy LOS map, so it very favored me, and in the sense that he couldn't shoot my bugs with his gun line turn one, and I did kind of position my stabs out of position because I wanted them to be close to the aqua, but I wanted to shoot the darks first, and I wanted the aquas to shoot the darks with the impact. So I made them go first and position them. And he marked 2 of my stabs. I marked
That's a
his,
mistake.
huh?
I think that's a mistake.
What going to the stabs first or target marking the target stab?
Targeting
Marking
them.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though, is I marked his dark troopers. And the reason why is when I saw his list, I knew I had to deal with the darks. If I ignore the darks, they get to go twice every turn. They could start deleting bugs. So I forced myself to put it on a, heavy unit that took a lot of shots to kill. So that way it just decided the game for me. Stab come out. They delete a stormtrooper squad naked, didn't do nothing. Dead troopers come out, pretty much not one-shotted, but pretty much was shooting at my stabs, effectively making them useless. So turn two, I had to retreat them, and then Aquas I put on the right side to shoot at his dark, and we're just trading at that point. We're just trading. He takes one model off, I take one Aqua off. We just shoot back and forth. Turn two is when I make my plays. I go in and shoot. And my God, the general Like I know his dice aren't salted because he's rolling the promo dice, but man, did you feel like they're salted? And it wasn't even like they were salted just for him because we agreed that we were gonna roll both the dice, like his dice. So I was rolling the same dice. But he made, in my opinion, over 60% of his red saves every time. Like, if he was able to shoot my bugs earlier, I think he would have won this game. But because I had the mobility and it would recover the research, I was pretty much getting 4 labs every turn. So I was getting 3 points every turn. Um, and he just lost by the number of points I was accumulating every round. And this is the only game that went to round 5. Because it was very close. Like one like whiff of dice or one mistake I made could have cost me the game. But I do highly recommend you boys checking it out, or any listeners, not just boys, check out the game. But yeah, Nick, what criticism you got for me?
You had fun?
Oh, it was stressful. It was stressful.
Wait, no, in this tournament, you had fun?
Yeah, I can't have fun.
But did you? Did you really? Did you have fun? I'm looking at your matches.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how that was fun.
Okay. So I
900
okay.
to 45, 996, 900 to 80, 999 to 45. Those are the kill points.
Sure.
11 to
Jeez.
1.
Sure.
And that last game, and I watched the last game,
Yeah.
and it is not and I'm not saying it's like to besmirch any of the people you played.
Yeah.
Just talking about why you shouldn't have been in this tournament.
Oh.
Um, and the last game you played, yes, was close, and that what and he even said it. If he even said it on the stream, if his dice wasn't rolling that hot, he would have died turn 2.
I agree.
He
I
he
agree.
he was behind those red dice. If they were more regular, it would have been over a lot quicker.
Sure. And you're 100% correct in
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
So you had fun.
well, okay. Again.
You had
Well,
fun play. You had fun playing like 1.5 rounds of Legion. You played the equivalent of probably
3 games.
3 games of Legion over 2 days.
to be fair, should I have played in the IS? Yes. But guys, I'm all about making good investments, and these promo dice are just a good investment.
Oh
I
my
don't,
God.
I don't know what to tell you guys. These okay.
Well,
Hold
well,
on,
wait,
Nick.
but actually, you playing in the GT actually was maybe a good thing because it's something we'll talk about later. I have something to talk about that.
Okay. I will say now these promo dice I'm dedicating to you specifically, Nick, because if you don't recall, 2 Vet Fests ago, you complained about my Baron dice. And
Hmm.
I was just like, oh,
Well, I didn't complain about it. I just wanted you to roll official dice.
thank you. So it's your fault that I gotta get these promo dice so that way I'm rolling official dice. Which on that note, I think Jose's gonna have a blast. I did get a hard warning at the tournament
Why?
because
Tell our fans
now
why. We've had this
I'm
conversation plenty of times.
I'm going to. I'm going to. This
Look at Nick's
GT,
face.
last GT I could have. I did in IS, but this GT, the TO did rule that I can't play clear bases, and I did make the mistake of not emailing them ahead of time, which I should have done. But I assumed since I got the proof from last year that it would be okay. Clearly, that was a mistake. But yeah, can't have clear bases in the
It was a
GT.
difference though. You played IS last year.
Well, no,
This is a GT.
the screenshot I sent you said the GT and IS. It
Yeah,
would have
it
been
was
okay.
because
Yeah, so
he didn't ask.
it's a funny
Yeah.
thing to bring up because I if long viewers of this podcast looking at Dallin here, I made this notion across many a podcast, and Nick has we've riled you about this. I my main issue was TOs not adhering to the official uh Galactic Conquest rule sheet, and specifically said they're nitpicking what they want to do and what they don't want to do. And the
Well,
issue
they're
is
not.
eventually it's going to make an issue because somebody's going to hit you with the rule book, and that's what happened.
Well, to be fair, it does say at the TO's discretion. The
Mhm.
biggest mistake, and like Nick had said, is that I didn't ask. I should have asked, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
basically, if you're going to bring something not official, you have to ask before every tournament.
Yeah,
Every tournament you should be
yeah,
asking.
yeah. And that was my big mistake. But I do want to thank the guys for graciously giving me a hard warning, just to make sure I ask
He
because
played in fear. That's why he finished those games so fast. He didn't want to leave no room for complaints.
well, I knew I wasn't gonna get another hard warning. Nobody, like everything that someone complains about, I usually fix. Like last year, people didn't like how my geos look, so LJ told me about some rubber bands. Got the rubber bands. Like anytime someone says something, like okay, I'll fix that. Like I don't see,
Fine.
yeah, fine, I'll fix the bases. Like it's not a big deal. And if you watch that game, Ben did compliment my bases.
There you go. Well, before Nick goes into his more interesting games, there's two games I wanted to go over because I thought they were hilarious.
Dang. Shots
No, no, no,
fired.
no. No, no, not nothing bad about Nick. Nick's games are always amazing. And here's the thing, I don't have the memory capacity that you guys do. So when Jose does bat raps, it's like a summary. But these two games I'm about to get into were like like burned in my brain because of the shenanigans that I had to pull in one and just the backfire that happened in the second. So this was my round four opponent, round five opponent. And let me see what his name was. I'm terrible with names, but this was, I love his name. I always say, like, when I talk about Anakin, I say Bananakin. So, ironically, my last opponent's name was Bananakin, his handle. Um, he was playing a lat, which would make Daniel proud. Rex, he was playing Delta Squad. He was playing lots of arcs. He was playing sniper strike teams. Like it was a list. What made this game interesting was my list does not do good against having to destroy things. Um, Earlier I lost a game of bunker because I don't have any special forces to qualify for extra wounds. So that's a hard pill to swallow. So whenever I see bunker, destroy enemy base, whatever, it's like a situation where it's like I don't want nothing to do with it. So this game comes up, we end up on close the pocket and destroy enemy base, which I'm dreading. The map, Jared, I think Jared's seeing it was an ocean view map where the right side of the map was completely empty. And so my opponent puts his base over there knowing if I was to commit to that side, it'd be sudden death. So we basically go across from each other. He doesn't like what he's seeing on the left side, so he puts his the bomb on the lat, and the lat is in that corner. What made it interesting was I just said, you know what, Jared's always talking about pull the tank, let the tank do its own thing. So I planted that bad boy on the right side, and I fought my instinct to put my bomb behind it with the tac droid to try to go blow it up, and decided instead that if I can't blow up his base, I'm not gonna let nobody blow up their bases, and we're gonna turn this into kill points because I can win the kill trade. So we start going. He starts hammering my bomb carrier. He pinches my bomb carrier between two two infantry squads and Delta squad pinching the guys in the middle. So while I realize he's trying to blow up the base or trying to vice my bomb carrier, I shove everything onto the center point and shove everything onto the left point. Because he's so close with that Delta squad, I give them 3 poison tokens, blows katana armor, all that good stuff, and he's still hammering my bomb unit. So while that's going on, I get his lat down to 1 wound, and his lat's finally moving up, trying to close the gap. So I tell my opponent, I said, you're hammering. I said, you can pick up my bomb, correct? He said, yes. So I said, okay, so that's why you're trying to kill my bomb. So now what I do is I take my bomb carrier and sprint it away from everything, as far as I could take this bomb, it's going in the opposite direction. Because at that point, I don't care if he picks up my bomb, he's not gonna be able to run it back. While that happens, I then blow up his lat, and he's like, okay, here's your bomb, you can place it. And I take the bomb and I throw it behind him. He's like, you're not going to pick that bomb up? I said, sir, I don't think you understand. I am not picking up any of these bombs. I am now up on kill points as well as score. These bases no longer mean anything to any of us. So I win that game 6-0. It goes to time, but the fun part was this dude is slamming a bottle of Captain Morgan at the table. And he's like, I'm just going. He offered me a drink. I'm like, I'm good, bro. So that game was funny because my next opponent, of course, the judge is waiting for JR to finish mauling his player. And so another player comes over, and I guess they're friends with Bananakin, and Bananakin is the one who made that comment about chewing through this gristly ass cheap steak. And this gentleman looks at my list and says, I would love to play this list. I have the exact thing that can tear this list apart. Now, for anybody who knows me in LVO, there's nothing more that gets under my skin than saying some reckless stuff like I don't exist or like I'm not there. So I just look at him and I said, all right, cool. Yeah, you probably could. I had no idea what he was playing. So, anyways, the tournament ends. It's an abrupt ending. JR conquers all. And so Josh says we can play round six for fun, makes the pairings. I go to my table. Guess who's there? The guy who just said he had the answer to my list. So now I took that personally. So we get on Recover the Research. We get our, it's, bring them to heal. And then we don't have no advantages because this is dangerous environment. Your advantages are replaced. To be honest, I didn't even care about any of that.
So this is the
So
fun game.
Yeah, the
we
fun game.
deploy,
Okay.
yeah. So we deploy, and the funny thing about the advantages was, or the environment was the clauses didn't affect me at all. So one of the clauses is if you're not within the speed of this token, everything is difficult terrain unless you take a suppression. I got Indomitable, baby. I'm moving speed too. I don't care. The next condition is if you're not within one of this token, you take a wound. I got 14 wounds. You're playing guard. You think I care? Third condition, you're not able to issue orders beyond range one or be issued an order beyond range one. I got tac droids. I got coordinate. I'm in a bubble. Once again I don't care. So we start deploying everything, and he sets up Anakin behind a wall, and I'm like, all right, cool. He overloads this dense building position because he knows that that's the position I want. He has Rex, Anakin, Ahsoka, two commandos, one infantry squad, a couple strike teams, and arcs with medics.
And
So
this is supposed to beat your list?
that's what I'm saying. I think his intent was to get Ahsoka and Anakin in and just start killing as much things as they could while capping my points.
Well, at
Um,
max,
so
they're killing six.
what ends up happening is he places Ahsoka on the corner of a building where I can clearly see her base. And it's at this moment I tried to make it as fun as I could because I knew he wasn't gonna like what was gonna happen. As he puts Ahsoka down, I asked him, I said, do you want to put Ahsoka there? He's like, yeah. I look over to my tray. I have two Poison B1 squads that are going to move speed 2, and I have a giant AAT that I know can see Ahsoka. I look at him again. I said, do you really want to put Ahsoka there? And he kind of like laughs a little bit. He's like, why do you keep asking me that? I'm like, I'm not going to monologue and let you catch me in my even villain monologue. I told him like that. I said, last time I said, do you want to put Ahsoka there? He said, yes. I said, okay. Apparently, JR's right. People don't know the rules. I grab my AAT, put the speed stick out, and my AAT fits comfortably on top of a big building. A building that I'm bigger than, which means he can no longer melee this AAT, and I'm flying in the air. He looks at me and he's like stunned, but he doesn't say nothing. Okay. So I positioned, I have two aims, one from target and one from a nearby tac droid. And I roll it out and I get six crits, one hit. High velocity, the barrage cannon and the high velocity shells. He covers one and he takes his dice. And I'm just hoping for critical wounds because I wanted to poison her. Rolls the dice. His soul leaves his body. He tilts the tray up, six blanks.
No, so good.
So
Well, you
now,
should have had clairvoyance.
hold on. Oh, yeah, he should have. I told him that. The funny part is, I wanted Anakin to go forward because that's what the other B1s were for. But as I'm thinking this, I'm like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. He picks her up, sets her down really hard. I'm like, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. He takes his speed 2 out, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna do it. Dives Anakin at me on top of a building. So much within 2. I'm like, he did it. I'm standing there, and he's like
Oh,
standing there looking at me, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I'm out of hacks. And I'm like, oh, okay. Grab one blob of B2s or B1s, take a suppression, move them up. They have an aim from the other, being in range of the other attack droid because, I can cohere range 1, which is dumb. And I roll it out. Anakin takes 3 wounds and
Jeez.
1 poison.
Jeez.
3 wounds, 1 poison. And then he's like, once again, he's just like can't believe he's already reeling. I grab the next blob of B1s, put him right there, do the same thing. Anakin takes another wound and another poison. So
oh,
Anakin's
so he
sitting at
dies
four
next
wounds.
turn.
When that happened, that was my last activation. He looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, it's over." He's like, I've already lost all my command cards." He's like, "Can your tank even do that?" I'm like, "Can my tank do it?" He's like, "Go onto a building." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Here's the thing." I said, because I'm bigger than it, I can get on the tank. He's like, so there's nowhere for me. He's like, I can't even get in there melee yet. I said, no, because your silhouette will not touch my bottom of my base. So therefore, yeah, I'm safe from melee. And I go into to further elaborate. I said, because the next building is even higher but lower than my hull, I can now side strafe onto that building and keep going higher. And he's like, I feel like that's wrong. I said, no, it's 100% right. I mean, I've seen flying snails.
Yep.
Um, so he scoops and everything, and then he's like, I was trying to have conversation, and I'm asking him what the issue was. He's like, with the math doesn't make sense. He's like, with the cover, with the red saves, with the surges. He's like, that was a improbability, and I'm like, but it happens.
Dice
And
be dice.
he scooped up all his stuff and like walked away.
Yeah,
Dang.
And
dice be dice.
I go over to John and I was like, "How's your game going?" He's like, "Oh, your opponent's like taking a break." I said, "Nah, my game's done." He's like, "What?" And I went to Josh and was telling him, "Hey, do we key this in?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Wait, your game's done?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I explained to him the chain of events. He's like, "Oh yeah, that will happen." So fastest game of Legion that weekend was like 7 to 10 minutes.
The way you're describing this, it just
Oh,
catches me off guard because it sounds like excitement, like you're having fun. That's what it sounds like.
that one was,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
then. That one game was because like I said, there's always somebody at LVO that says something that just like irks me a little bit. And it's like the Jose gets to put you in your place type of deal.
Mhm.
Like that guy who made the pair down comment a few years ago. Like I beat him in the submission and then just to because I already knew like I could have won, I quit
Wait
just
a
because I was
minute.
trying to be
So all I gotta do is offend you so you can play me again?
Oh no. Anyways, I just thought those 2 games were funny because it's like I had to think outside the box a little bit to put myself in winning positions, but just that last one was hilarious. So,
Yeah, it sounds like a fun game, man. Sounds like you had a
ugh.
blast. All right, Nick, give it to us.
Wait, I gotta continue my accusation because I looked at his list now. Okay.
Oh, okay. All
All
right.
right. So you took Leia, first of all, which you have consistently said on the cast that you hate playing Leia and that you
I,
do not
I,
want to play Leia.
that's correct.
Why did you take Leia to a multi-day event, Nick?
I wanted to take things that I don't play or haven't played.
Uh,
The the perfect time to practice with the list is the first game at LVO. And I actually calculated it out. My first
okay.
game at LVO was my first Legion game in 11 weeks.
And do not listen to him.
Wow.
You do your
And
due
I
diligence and practice,
and
people.
I went 3-2.
Okay. My next question is you took Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, a arguably one of the most meta pieces in Rebels.
Nope. Nope, he's not. He's not.
Ooh.
Really?
I don't
What?
think so.
Uh,
No, I'm not saying he's not good. If you look at the lists that are winning, they don't have OP Luke.
But I mean,
They have
that's
three
saying like,
sleeper cells. You can't
And
afford it.
I'm not saying he's good, but when you say meta, that means winning tournaments to me.
okay, is that mean my list is meta?
Yes.
But
Did you
no
not
one's
win the
taking it.
turn? Did you
But no,
not win the tournament? Wait,
but
did
no
you
one's
not wait?
no
But
one's taking it though.
did you win the tournament?
What I'm saying is no one's taking that
I
Okay,
list.
think
wait,
nobody can
but by
afford to
that
take it.
logic,
That
you're
list is
also
expensive. That list
by
is
that logic,
expensive.
you're also saying that mortars and clones are meta.
Oh, that's
Oh,
valid.
we'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into
Okay,
that
Mortars
actually.
and
That's a
Clones is
separate topic.
underrated.
okay. SX20. Okay, so the Rebel Troopers are fine, whatever. They're not
Super
necessarily the most
I took Super
super.
Squad Rebel Troopers.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Okay, slingers, very meta.
Yep.
Ewok slingers are very,
One
very
slinger.
meta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, triple ATRTs with flamethrowers,
Two
very meta.
HRTs. Two HRTs. Two.
Oh, why does it list three on the thing that you said?
I have
There's
two.
ATRT and then ATRT three flamethrower. Oh,
Is just
yeah, I
how the
don't know.
format.
Yeah, he
It's
Yeah,
took
just the
two.
two.
format.
He took
You are
two. Yeah.
right. Okay, yes, two ATRTs with flamers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This just when you sent it to me, I was like, this is not a Nick list. This is like just I looked at a bunch of Longshanks data and picked my favorite parts out of it.
It's a mismatch list. It's a mismatch list. You also forgot Din and Grogu
Yeah,
and
well,
my
yeah,
two
but
naked
Din's meta.
fleets.
Din's been meta.
Now Din's good. I'll agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Din's good.
and
Um,
Grogu's like slowly becoming meta too.
no, most people don't bring
I
Grogu.
lost the
He's too
game because of
expensive.
Grogu, Nick. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, but that just means you got a good roll. And I actually did the same thing. It's kind of funny that that happened to you because I did it to my opponents as well.
Oh, so two
Okay,
Grogus
I'm
went
done.
off.
I'm done with my accusation. I'm sure it was. It looks very fun. I want to play it. It looks like a good time, and I hate playing rebels. So
It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of new stuff that I had not played. I've never played Super Squads before. So I did bring two Rebel Super Squads with the SX Trooper and frag grenades. So I
Did you
could
like it? Did you like playing it?
did you
it,
use the frag grenades?
I actually used them a couple of times. Yeah, I mean you can
What?
get at range one, within this game now and then. So yeah, actually we're able to surge crit with my Rebel Troopers on a few shots.
So
um,
did you have fun playing the super squads?
it was
Oh,
okay. It was okay. I don't. I guess I liked it. I guess I could see bringing one at least in a list.
your opinions have changed on Super Squads, maybe?
No, I still don't like them. I don't like the idea of it. I still don't. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't. Um, but it wasn't too bad. Yes, I'm not a Leia player, but what commander am I going to bring? I have no commanders.
Lando.
I have no commanders. He's
Han?
too expensive.
Lando.
But if you bring Han, you got to bring Chewie, and now I lost my opera slots.
I haven't
I
seen
So.
mean,
Han bring Chewie.
you could do
I
Han
haven't seen
and
Chewie in
Sabine.
forever.
Yeah,
There's
Chewie's
been a bunch of Hans in this tournament, and the
Chewie
G2
dead.
Okay,
specifically.
maybe I'll rephrase that. I would never bring Han without Chewie. That is sacrilege. That's
I
blasphemy.
agree.
That's blasphemy.
I
So are
agree.
you saying you'll never bring Cassian without K2SO?
Correct. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I would
it's
never.
free anyway to bring K2.
Well, he still costs points, but yeah, the
Well,
slot. Yeah,
yeah.
I would never bring. Yeah, I would never. Yeah, there are certain things I would just never do. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So just real quick on my games. So yes, game one. I was on the stream. That was my
Yeah.
first stream game
Yeah.
ever.
How'd you
Yeah.
like it?
It was good. I think it was good to get it out of the way, finally get it out of the way. I definitely was nervous. I
So,
definitely was nervous playing on stream. Yeah, I even noticed right away in the middle of setup, I'm placing objectives and the building was a little off, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna move that. And I was like, wait. I was like, no, I better not move that. Everyone's watching me. Counselor, counselor.
you just talked to your opponent about
Cheater!
it.
I could have, but I was just like, it's just like, oh, it's like, yeah, this is different. Um, and
Nerve-wracking.
and it was the only game that I didn't finish.
Oh.
I finished all my other games, turn five turns. I don't even think the 15-minute got called. We played a turn four, so we did not was a totally lost, but we played turn four, and I went back and I watched the game uh, in the airport, waiting for my flight on the way home, and I am yelling at myself, do something, go faster, make a move.
Yep.
I'm like and I must have just been playing. I probably wasn't playing that slow. I was probably a little critical just watching myself, but I was getting mad at myself, like not going, not like deciding where to go, make a decision. So I wonder if I did play a little slow that game because we didn't
Interesting.
finish. But
Wow.
Who'd
I
you
mean,
play?
who did I play against? Oh, I played
Yeah.
EXD. I played against an EXD
Mm.
list.
Okay.
So
Ebony Scott.
yeah, Eben Scott. I did lose my first game, but we tied 11-11 on victory
Hmm.
points. He won on kill points 298 to 210.
Oh
So
wow.
it was a
That's
very
not
close
bad.
game. It was a fun game. It was
Did
a
you take
fun
the snails
game.
out?
I didn't even bother.
Yeah, I
So
figured. Yeah.
so I brought no answer to armor on my list. There was no
You have
answer to armor.
oh, you didn't
You
have
have
impact
the
grenades.
SX-21s.
That's Impact One and White Save Rebel Troopers. They just
Oh
get
yeah.
shredded. And that board did not have a lot in the middle, so if they popped out, they were just gonna get shot,
What was the
which
game
they did.
type? Because I've been shot off the table by AXD with red saves, and
Hmm.
the fact that you went 11-11 with white saves, like what was it a dense board and what was the game
No,
type?
no, it wasn't. It was recover. It was recover. So I
Oh,
didn't have
okay, so
to.
you had
So
spots to hide.
I had spots, but I was actually kind of a bummer. I had only one POI was on a building, and I couldn't contest it without going on top of the building. I
Mm.
couldn't stand by
Oof.
the building contest it. So to contest the PO, I had to go up top, and I was just feeding him stuff to kill, but still just like trying to put stuff
Because
up
you're
there
getting the points, yeah.
so I can keep getting the point. Yeah, yeah. So it was a fun game. It was definitely a fun game. Um, you know, stream that was fun to play on stream, but EXD, gosh, EXD, hate
Yeah.
EXD.
Yeah.
Are you gonna use your goldfish standing orders now?
Yeah, I got my goldfish staying indoors. Yeah, I'll have to use that sometimes. Yeah.
So will you play on stream again?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I won't say no to
Mm.
it, but yeah, now I'll definitely feel better about it probably the next time I have to do it. Yeah.
The biggest thing for me is the wires, because when you go around the table, the wires get in the way. I always feel like I'm gonna trip them. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And thinking about it now, I don't know if we even got extra time for being on stream. I know sometimes they give you a little more time. I don't think we got extra time, but yeah.
Hmm.
So game two, and of course, game two, then I gotta play Remnant. So I gotta start with EXD and then Remnant. Game two was fun, good opponent. Um, I guess he must have liked me too. He even gave me a card at the end, said I was a good opponent. Like a
Well,
greeting
yeah,
card.
he won, Nick. Of course, you're a good opponent.
Oh yeah, he won. Again, another close game, 13-11.
Ooh.
13-11. So close game. It was fun. Remnant's just tough. Remnant's just
Yeah.
cheating. Gosh,
Yeah.
this Remnant's just
Yeah.
cheating with all those
Yeah, it is.
tokens.
It really is.
Um, but yeah, so and then I got to play Michael, our friendly fire. I got to play Michael in the third game.
Which Michael?
Michael, uh, Emperor Michael.
Mikey?
Mm.
Yeah, Emperor Michael.
Emperor
Calgaris.
Michael.
Uh,
Hank.
Hank.
It was Hank. Hank and
And
Bobby.
he was playing Vader and dues and stuff and Riot Squad. So I won that game 12-5. That was a fun game. That's only the second time ever I've played Michael. I played
Well,
him once at LVO now and once now at once at VetFest, once at LVO. So we've only played twice.
any
But that was
tournaments? No
good.
doubt.
Okay, this next one's gonna be fun. You're gonna love this next one, JR.
Okay.
All right. So I played Caitlin. I think it was pronounced Caitlin.
Mhm.
Uh, so she was playing Dooku and Asajj, CIS.
Well, okay. I approve so far.
Yeah. Um, so I think and this is probably a problem and that's a problem, but I was probably trying to play too fast,
Mhm.
trying to finish the game, play fast. It was a close game, and was definitely a situation of two nice players playing each other. And
Okay.
so, and when I say that, like when two nice players play each other, you kind of play and, maybe you don't get called on something that you should be called on, right?
Right. Mhm.
Because and a good player is going to call you on, or a good player is gonna stop the game or do whatever. And so, really, like we're down to like the last two activations of the game, turn five. It's coming down to a point. And I'm making, I'm moving some things. I make a move Leia. Okay, range 2, exemplar, take cover. And then she's got to kill these fleets off of the point. And she does one shot, use a dodge, roll. They survive. Take me a model off, use another shot, use a dodge, roll. They survive. And they survived. And we ended the game. And it was like, oh, so close, right? She had to kill those fleets to have a chance. And she's like, oh, she's like, I wanted to ask about it because we measured that and we measured again, like got more precise measurement after the game was over, and it looked like, and Leia does look like she's outside of range 2 and couldn't do the take cover and couldn't do the share the dodge for
Yeah.
exemplar. And at first I'm just thinking about the last roll, and I was like, oh, that's my bad. I'll roll another die. It's like I'll roll another save.
Whoa.
I'll roll another save without the dodge. And
Uh,
if I fail, then that he's dead. There's only one guy left.
you're rolling a white die.
White save die. And she's
Oh
like,
my
no, no. And I'm like,
God.
no. I was like, I'll do it. I'll roll it. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. So I roll it. I get a block. And she goes, oh. And
It was
then
meant to be.
and then she goes, could you roll one more die? I was like, really? He's like, yeah, just roll one more. And at first I forgot that I used a take cover dodge and an exemplar dodge on two separate attacks. But that's why she wanted me to roll the second one, because I used 2 dodges. So I was like, oh, okay, I rolled it again, rolled a surge, blocked it.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
And so he lived. But could you imagine doing that, JR, after the
No.
game was over?
I'd be like, what are you talking about? It's over. It's done.
See.
I win. I win.
Give me my belt. I'm going home.
But it was my mistake, and I felt really bad. So I was like, I'll roll it. I'll roll it, Like
Yeah.
but hey, it worked out. It still worked out in the end. But yeah, so I did win that. I won that game 7-6. 7-6.
Dang, those 2
Jeez.
rolls, man. Must have been like nerve wracking, just rolling them just to see what happened.
I didn't mind. You know me.
Yeah, I
I
know.
didn't mind.
It wouldn't matter if you won or lost. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
cared.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that was a fun game. That was a good
Yeah.
game. And the last game I played Tristan, the gentleman you played. So he was a lot of fun to play. Yeah, playing the Shadow Collective. I won that one 11-8 on that one. So it was a close game. But yeah, he rolled, kind of talking about Mando saves, right? He had a bunch of Mandos, and it's like if you roll it, great, but if they don't, like they just die, And
Yeah.
and he wasn't too bad with his Mandos. Like he rolled, I think, okay, but I think a couple of times it's like, oh dang it, like losing too many, especially to like Rebel Trooper shots, right?
Yeah.
When I'm because with Super Squad Rebel Troopers, I'm rolling, 10 black or plus more with the heavy. So yeah, I think it was just too much in the end, but it was still a close game. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I went 3-2. I did play the 6th game. That was just for fun. It was just a fun game. It was a fun game. But I had to play Remnant again, though, of course.
Ugh. Who'd you play against?
Well, you know what? That's kind of the funny thing. I don't remember because it's not in the it's not in Longshanks.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
So I was like, oh, I could probably find his list, but at the same time there were so many Remnant players, so I don't know. It was like the same list every time. So yeah, I don't recall who I
That
played.
game was hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
Why was it hilarious?
What it's coming down to the end, I think, and the guy is like takes a shot and he gets 3, and Nick's like, huh, oh, he's dead. Picks a guy up, and I'm looking at Nick, and I'm like, that thing's in melee. What are you doing? He puts aside, and the guy goes, why'd you pick him up? And Nick's like, oh, I blocked through. I rolled and I only blocked one. He's like, yeah, he was in melee. I shot the HRT behind it. And Nick's like, oh, I'm sorry. He puts it down and like it slides back, and then he's like, well, I'll just take 2 wounds on the HRT, but water will do that to you, huh, Nick?
Water will do that to you.
That's
We
some
need
good
we need to have
water.
a game where we do water and then make terrain out of it.
There you go.
So why do you think it was good that I played in the GT? I'm curious.
I think, and it's maybe too early to say this, but we have, I don't want to say a problem. We have an issue with the current format of LVO.
What do you mean?
So we've done this 2 years now with this GT and IS separation and
Oh
these
yeah,
and
we were
these
talking about this.
and these different schedules. I don't think it's working.
Why?
I don't think it's working. Well, one, you were in the GT because of the Sunday.
Yeah.
That is only happening because the IS is even starting until Saturday. Um, and even on top of that, kind of going to, I was saying about the clones winning, and I don't want to take anything away from the player that won the IS, but there were 4 5-1s.
Yeah.
There was no top cut.
Mm.
It was 6 rounds, and I don't know. I'm not a competitive player, but I don't know if that feels good. To me, like I don't
Yeah.
like to have a 3-day convention tournament with no top cut.
Mm.
Um, you playing in the GT, I think shows a huge flaw in this kind of setup.
Mm.
And that's what I was asking if you had fun, JR, because it was, you know, I don't want to, and again, I'm not trying to take away from it, but it was a foregone conclusion
Mm.
that you were going to win, and you didn't
Yeah, we
even,
all said
and
that.
and you didn't even sweat
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, and that's because there are certain players that I really do believe can only lose in a top cut.
Mm.
And you're one of those players. And you're not the only one. There are other players out there. There's other really good Legion players out there that's the only time that it's possible that they could lose if it goes to a top cut, right? Because you're gonna go 6-0, you're gonna go 5, you're or 5-1. You're gonna be at the top,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
But when you get to that top cut, maybe then you drop a game, right?
Right.
Because now all your opponents are the top
Mm.
crop of that tournament. And those are the games you can lose.
Yeah.
I don't like these separate schedules. I don't like us starting on different days, ending on different days. Us having an award ceremony when another tournament's playing their games. We've got players in the GT that should be in the AS. We gotta we then one and then no one wanted to go up.
Mm-hmm.
The
Second time
invite
that's happened.
second time, and this only happened twice.
Yeah.
So now 2 years in a row, no one wants to go up from the GT to IS. The invite's getting passed down to like 12th place to finally get someone to go up. That was kind of, I won't say the only reason that it's starting a day later is so you can invite someone up. I don't think we need to do that. No one wants to. So I think, and again, I don't want to say it's all bad and this is only 2 years in, but I don't think it's working. I don't feel like it's working. I don't feel
One
like
thing,
it's doing what I would want it to do.
one thing that we pointed out in our off time, mainly like you and Rob talking about it, was the whole reason of why the IS was created. That was because the Adepticon Worlds was gone.
Yeah.
Worlds is now back, and we all think, at the same time, everybody that was hanging out that night was like, why is LVOIS a thing? And I basically said that the reason it's a thing is because it's somebody's baby.
It would no, but it was an idea too, and it was an idea that I know. I mean, I've been told that's been was talked about for a long time before. This is something that MCP has been doing for years, so this is not a new concept, Um, but MCP has the luxury of finishing a tournament like in one day, so they'll have the GT and IAS players play together and then go do separate. You can't do that with Legion because you only fit 3 games in a day. I'm not saying get rid of the IS, but I'm definitely saying put it on the same schedule. We all start on Friday. We play Saturday. You go top cut Sunday. Like I don't think this staggered start. It'd be nice if we ended and started and we're more cohesive as one group versus right now I feel like we're getting separated into these two separate groups, which I don't feel like that's what we want, even though we are maybe two different calibers of player plays in the tournaments. But I would still like some sense of togetherness, with the amount of people that are there at LVO. So I'm not saying to get rid of it, but if you're going to keep it, then put it on the same schedule. Nobody in the GT wants to go up anyways. They don't want to go. You don't need to hand out extra invites, or bring us all together. And the IS not having a top cup, again, I'm not a competitive player, so I feel it's not my place to even say it, but I feel like that's blasphemy that IS did not have a top cut. That IS ended with that ranking of all those 5-1s. I
Yeah.
like
I Go ahead, finish that.
I just don't see how that has any finality to it.
I 100% agree with you, Nick. I was a little bit salty last year in the IS when there was no top cut because, I felt like I earned my way into the top eight. But again, it wasn't really a top eight. It was just you play your game and then, whoever got the better strength of schedule would have been your winner if there was no definite winner, right? Um, And again, I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I know tournaments are hard to run, so I want to say thank you to Josh and his team for putting this tournament together. But I do miss the tournaments, the LVO tournaments that we were all in the same tournament,
The
right?
one GT.
That one GT of just all of us, playing Friday, Saturday, and the top cut on Sunday. That to me was a lot of fun,
Mhm.
and it was a lot of rewarding. And I always praised LVO for all the gifts they gave out to everybody each round. That was so much fun, and I honestly missed that. It's partially my decision to go into GT because I like getting goodies, and who doesn't like getting stuff, right? It just makes the trip worth it in my opinion. But like the tournament would have been if they combined it both would have been 73 players versus 36 and 37. Like I feel like that would have been a more fun tournament to be in of 73 players. So yeah, I agree 100%. I wish they would combine the two. Just make it the LVO ISGT. Play with AMG's rules and then give out stuff to the people.
Well, they just can't do the invites then. So, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're ready. I don't know if they want to get rid of the invites, and I don't even know if I even want that. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's working. That's just me as a participant. That's me as a participant that went to LVO, um, now 2 years in a row, doing it this way. I went before doing it the old way. Um, it just hasn't. Yeah, I just don't feel like it's working. If we start, if at least at minimum, stars on the same schedule, stars on the same day, Friday, Saturday, top cut, doubles, like that would at least, you know, I feel like bring back a little bit of cohesiveness to the larger group.
Yeah.
But just my thoughts on that. Now
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun though. I had a lot of fun. Um, all of my opponents were outstanding. All of my opponents were great to play. I've talked about this before. I used to be a Warhammer player. I would never have that great of experience playing in a Warhammer tournament. No, no,
L-
sorry to all
Let
the
me
Warhammer players out there.
let me pick your head on that. Let me pick your head on that. You had no fun playing Warhammer people because they were like me, or why?
There's a different animal.
Okay.
And I think and I don't want to like throw all Warhammer players, but there's so many more of them, right? So you take anything and times it by 10, you're gonna find more bad apples, right? And then you're
Sure.
gonna play the bad apple. Um, I don't have that experience playing Legion. Everyone was fun to play. Everyone was great to play. So that's always a great thing to go to a tournament and say that all my opponents were great and all the games were fun.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because like I talked to the boys, I talked to all you guys, and I like the stories I hear are more or less your interactions with the players and how they interacted with you and made it fun, stuff like that. I know John's gonna join us next week and give us his experience, but he had some great stories he was telling me of his experience at LVO, and it's just like I do appreciate that. Like I try my hardest not to be a stickler or try to ruin the fun for my opponent. Um, and I think my opponents this year did a great job of just making it fun, even though it was a competitive event. I think, in my opinion, the people that were a little bit salty about our game is more or less the list. It's a really effective list that should have been played at a higher competitive level.
Well, your whole list has relentless.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's the problem with your list. On turn two, when all the rest of us are deciding to move and score a point, to move twice and score a point, or to move and shoot, you could do both. You're
They,
basically G notions on that turn two approach. You essentially have a relentless
Yeah,
on all your core.
yeah. I get to have my cake and eat it, pretty much.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's a that's a good list. But before we wrap this up, now short letter grade, keep it simple. How do you guys feel about the tables?
A.
Ooh, no,
That
I
was
won't say
fast for me.
A.
A.
Whoa, no A for you,
F.
Nick?
No. Um,
F.
it
No Star
was
Tours table. It's an F.
it was it was C.
What? Really?
Yeah. So,
Why?
and maybe it was just, and maybe it was just luck of the draw on some of the tables I got to play on. So, a few of them were pretty open. I mean, I guess not open, but I feel like the tables were not designed with the new rules in mind. There were still
Whoa.
there were
Okay.
still there were still a lot of pieces of terrain that were on the table. It's like, well, what is this? It's not. It's area, I suppose, but it's not taller than a silhouette, but it's not obstacle, so it really doesn't do anything. There was still a lot of train pieces that didn't do anything. And I was on one table where like there was a bunch of those pieces. So like there were didn't, nothing, it didn't do much of anything. Um, I think out of like my 6 games, there was one game that had things big enough to block an ATRT. Now I know not everything should be blocking ATRT, but there was kind of nothing that would block your line of sight to an ATRT, which is not that big. That's not a big. So I didn't feel like yeah, there just seemed like there wasn't either enough or the placement. I would say the placement of terrain, and this is maybe just me. I place things in a different places than what I see most people place terrain. They always place all the big stuff along the edge and all the little stuff in the middle. Why? Why can't things go more in the middle? And it's so funny when I saw the game that they set up for you, JR, on that last table,
Hmm.
because yeah, like when I watched the stream game, I'm like, it's like, do they just want JR to win this? It's like they put these giant
Yeah,
walls
big old walls.
and like range two up the board as well. They weren't like next to your deployment zone. They
Yeah,
were they were,
no, very much
almost
in.
almost
Mhm.
on the midline.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, gosh, that would have been nice to play on that table. I would have liked to play on that one.
Did you hear the part where in the left side of one of the sides of the tables, there's this long, like flat, like I don't know, platform,
Hmm.
and the judge that was telling us what it was is like, yeah, we'll do that, area terrain, and then Ben was just like, oh, that's gonna be great for the bugs. Like huge old area terrain line of sight blocker. He deemed it. I was like, yeah, like it sure is. But I gave
Yeah.
that side to Ben, so it didn't really come in for me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so just they looked cool. All tables look cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, placement and pieces that work for the new rules. Yeah.
That's a night and day difference to my play.
Yeah, I was gonna
Cause
say was Jose. I actually agree with you. I think the tables are A because my first match was on a open slash LOS. Like there were some good LOSs, but there's definitely some open. My turn two was one with Chris, great opponent, but there was no line of sight blocker. And then my turn three was another in between. And then four was a little bit more dense. And then five, obviously, in my opinion, the best one for my G notions. Um, but I like that. I like seeing a mixture of all three tables because I think it's okay to be on an open table if, the next game you're on a heavy LOS because I think that's just the environment of punishing both people of your flaws of bringing a melee list or a gunline list. Like you don't know which table you're gonna get. If it's all just open, it's just like everyone's just gonna be gunline tables. If it's all dense, everyone's just gonna be melee skews. It's just like that's never fun.
so I gave mine an A, and I and my kill points will reflect this. I played on 5 dense tables.
Oh, wow.
I lost over the course of 5 games. I lost in total. I lost 3 big body B1s across 5 games in total.
So we have a difference
And
of what dense means though, because
okay,
I played on that table that I'm seeing the picture of. That was not
yeah.
dense.
Well, it's
Oh, he
perfect
played that
because
big
that
old circle area terrain.
Did you?
no.
Okay.
No. So the reason that so when I so I guess let me rephrase that. When I mean dense, I mean I have big chunks of terrain that are perfect line of sight blockers to where like this piece in my picture, if you see where the swoops are coming in and where the bus is and everything, that rock that's right there on the left side is like concealed most of my guys there for all of turn one and turn two. And then where the corner's not showing is that other side of the table had rocks and stuff where they couldn't see anything. So I also played on a plant table which had giant fins coming out of it. That once again if I can fit 28 B1s back there, well that's a you problem. I played on the beach table which had an empty corner, but the other 80% of the table was giant palm trees, giant buildings. My turn five had one giant structure of buildings that I could focus on. Like, I didn't, my opponents could not really hit my list from any angle that
Did,
wasn't going to expose
did you
them.
play any Remnant?
No,
Oh, that's why. That's why
I
you
would have,
feel that way. I
no,
played
because, hold on.
Remnant. I
I know,
played
no, no, but
Remnant.
here's the thing. Like, playing Remnant on the tables that you just described sounds like a pain. Playing Remnant on a table that I consider beneficial for my army doesn't sound like it's so much of a pain. Because I've played against Remnant playing Rob on a wide open table and Rob shot me off the board. It
Yeah.
took him like, 30 volleys of munitions, but he shot me off the board. And I feel like in a rematch with Rob, with what I know now and how I know how to play this list now, it would 1000% have to come down to the table. Because had I played Remnant on any of the tables that I was, like a couple of the tables, I'm able to speed double move and then move on the next turn and I'm in full line of sight blocking, scoring. Like, what are you gonna do? Come around the corner and shoot two B1s that you can see? That's why I said when I was talking, my question wasn't how much cover do I have? My question was how many can you see?
Yeah, so I
Because
I guess maybe that's different. I don't think, and I'm thinking back, I don't know if I had, gosh, any games where I could contest a POI behind line of sight.
yeah, I was all over those games.
I don't think I had any games where I could contest behind the line of sight.
And it's how I won because a handful of my games I tied score wise. But because they had to extend to come around those buildings to challenge me and to get on POIs, I was able to trade up. So yeah, you killed, a blob of B1s that was only worth 92 points, and I just took a whole Aqua squad from you. Or I won at one game, opponent rushed Asajj because he needed to make sure I stayed behind in scoring, and Asajj turns the corner and runs into 100 B1s. She's not surviving that.
So maybe I don't
Um,
maybe I don't have a table problem. I have a remnant problem.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no. Well,
Remnant's
the reason I say
really, really
table is because
strong.
if
Yeah.
you play against Remnant, because they want to sit and shoot, but if you have a table where you can sit behind and capture POIs and make them have to move, then you're having a better situation. Like I said, it's just 9 day difference because you said you didn't have really good tables. You gave it a B. JR said he had a
Give it a
mixture of
C.
all. C. JR said he had a mixture of all. And I'm saying I can't think of a table I had where my AAT wasn't climbing on something while everything's underneath it or behind it or around the corner or a wall by a POI. And in one of my games, me and my opponent were fighting by a tower where we're just dancing around the tower. And he's trying to capture my B1s and I'm trying to chase him from behind. And You know, it was just like for me, it was an A because the tables are very well suited for what I was trying to do.
Overall,
Yeah.
though, I had a blast. I think it was a lot of fun still. Given the short amount of time that we had in between LVOs. So I do want to give a shout out to Josh and his crew, all the judges that did come. I appreciate you guys' time and the setup that you guys did and the effort that it took. So thank you again for throwing another successful LVO tournament.
And Imperial
Uh,
Goldfish for streaming.
yes, Imperial Goldfish, Andrew, you're awesome, man. And streaming those games was a lot of fun. Playing on them was also a lot of fun. So hopefully next year we get a bigger crowd, bigger people. We're actually at a convention center, which we didn't mention. How'd you guys feel?
Amazing. I
Ooh,
loved it.
oof.
Oh, here
Oof,
we go.
oof, oof.
Hater, Nick,
No,
Nick.
no. Oh, it was good. It was good. It's a necessary step. There's gonna be things that are different, like having water. Um,
Oh, we didn't have any, huh?
we didn't have any water.
We did. We
Well,
had to
you
pay like $5
five
at
dollars
that
a
place.
bottle.
My
Five
God.
dollars a bottle. No,
Yeah.
so little things like that. I think that had to get worked out. It was obviously louder being a
Yes.
convention,
Yeah.
but I think that's necessary. So no, I guess I will take back my face that I made. It's good that we're being moving to a convention. That's what's
It's a convention
necessary.
game. That's what we're supposed
Yeah,
to be, not in a
it's good.
hotel.
It, it will take some time to get used to not having the comfort of the hotel and just being able to
Yeah.
go up and down to your
Yeah.
room as you wish.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
do miss
no,
that.
it was good. It's necessary. So yes, I'm happy that that's what we're doing. There's definitely going to be some just adjustments have to be made.
It was a really nice spot.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
All right, boys. I think I've held you guys here long enough. Dallins, you got any last words for us?
Uh, I'll be there next year, hopefully.
That's what I was hoping you were gonna say. That's right. That's the correct answer. Jose, any last words?
Big shout out to Michael Hank Calgaris. He survives both days of LVO, plays 5 games, and was not a broken mess like he was the year prior when he finished one day and spent the second day in the hotel room watching King of the Hill dying.
You want to know why? It's because you can go back to the hotel.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. So insider secret, because you guys weren't there, my man brought every pain medication you could think of. You guys didn't know this. Under his shirt, he was
Hmm.
strapped with like massaging heating pads.
Oh, nice,
He
nice.
had ibuprofen on deck, bear on deck. He had water. He had emergencies. Like my man came to play. He wasn't kidding this year. And cool enough, the year he went, I did feel bad because he spent day 2 in the hotel, and he had a absolute blast this time. So shout out to, and the reason we called him Hank is because we had little Michael with us. So when we yell Michael, both of them would turn around. So Michael loves King of the Hill, so he was Hank, and little Michael was Bobby. So all weekend long, it was Hank and Bobby.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
That's
Nick,
funny.
you got any last words for us?
Thank you for those 2 extra dice in that round 6.
Don't rub it in my face, Nick.
Two extra.
I would have skipped Empire Strips Back if I would have known that.
No, you
Eh,
wouldn't have.
you're right. You're right. Anyways, AMG, Buff CIS, they need some love.
Oh my
Till next
gosh.
time. See you guys.
See you. Bye.